US President Donald Trump has finally convinced the presidency of China that Iran should not have a nuclear weapon. And just like play on the presidency of China has agreed. Last week, Donald Trump visited Beijing in China, where he later convinced the presidency of China that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Prior to that, China have been in support of Iran as well as Russia. But all of a sudden, they have turned their back. Maybe we don't know what they discussed personally with US president, because Trump personally left Washington DC for Beijing, and that agreement has been reached. So China may not support Iran's nuclear weapon again. Why will he do that? You know, US have been in conflict with Iran just because of this nuclear weapon. One of the reasons is that if they allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon, other nations in the Middle East may not be protected, may not be safe, and that's a means of protecting its allies and the Gulf. And they believe that if Iran have a nuclear weapon, the Strait of Hormuz will be a threat, because Iran is currently laying mines. Then imagine if they have nuclear weapons, that means they will personally control the Strait of Hormuz. And the Strait of Hormuz alone controls about 20% of the oil in the world. So 20% of the oil passes through that Hormuz. And US don't want Iran to be stronger in terms of military capacity. And terrorist threats, you know, the terrorists in Iran and other Middle East countries, they may be energized if there are nuclear facilities for them through Iran, and it will further weaken the Middle East region. And this will also prompt other Middle East countries to start acquiring nuclear weapons, which is what US does not want. So that's why US, for these little reasons, I believe they don't want Iran to be stronger in terms of military capabilities, and that's a means of limiting its power. Strait of Hormuz is a very important factor. They don't want Iran to have a complete control of that Strait of Hormuz. That is it. But why will China all of a sudden turn its back against Iran and agree that Iran should not have a nuclear weapon?